Number 10. Okay, so we're to find the inverse. So step one, change it from function form to y equals form. Step two, switch the x and the y, and then solve for y. So we're going to isolate the y, add 1 to both sides. Now we need to get rid of a top number of 4 and a bottom number of 5. So I'm going to multiply everything by -5/4. So I get -5/4 x minus 5/4. Cancel, cancel is equal to y. So f inverse of x is -5/4 x minus 5/4. Number 11. Okay, we see a cube root. We know that cubing is going to be part of the inverse, and we're also guessing subtraction is going to be part of the inverse, but it's hard to predict with so many steps. So let's change it to y equals, and I'm going to go ahead and change it to x. Notice the +1 is inside the root, the +2 is outside. Switch the x and the y and solve for y. So we're going to subtract 2. The opposite of cube root is to cube both sides. So that cancels the cube root. And the y plus 1 is set free. So then subtract 1. So f inverse, and then we're going to change it back into function form. And we're going to change it back to n minus 2 cubed minus 1. Okay, number 12. So we are going to solve and graph absolute value inequalities. Okay, so since you can't see me, I have these little pictures. These are not really my hands. My hands are not yellow. But anyway, when you see less than or less than or equal to, you are going to say less is nest, and you are going to make your hands do this and, in fact, tap your thumbs together. And that is a little nest, right? See the nest? Okay. So when we see greater than, we're going to say more is ors. And this is like, so if we were making circular motions, it's like we are rowing a boat. Less is nest, more is or. Less is nest, more is or. Thumbs touch, thumbs out, thumbs touch. Okay, it makes a little more sense when you're seeing me. So come see me in person and we will talk about this. So here's the plan. Step one, we are going to isolate the absolute value. And then step two, we're going to figure out what the parent graph is. And how are we going to do that? Less is nest, more is ors. Okay, here we go. So, number 12, we see that the absolute value is already isolated. There's not a number out here, there's not a number out here. It's already isolated. So now for the parent graph, we see more than, And we know that more is ors. Yeah, like your thumbs going out. Now, it's not greater than or equal to, it's just greater than. So we're not filling in the circles. Okay, so that's what we are predicting. Now, notice when it's ors, there are two separate pieces. Okay, so there's two separate pieces. With the nest, there's going to be one piece, but with the ors, there's two separate pieces. Okay, so here we go. So we have 6 plus b greater than 10. We know the parent graph, what it's going to look like. Step 3 is to split. So we have 6 plus b. Okay, now 6 plus b could be positive or negative. So 6 plus b greater than 10, or the negative of 6 plus b can be greater than 10. But to get rid of that negative, I'm going to divide by -1. So 6 plus b is less than -10. Okay, so this is how we're going to split it. We're still going to solve these. Notice the inequality changes and the sign changes. So we're going to go back up and do that again without doing this step because the fewer the steps, the better. Okay, that leaves you less room for error. Are you ready? So we're going to say 6 plus b greater than 10. Just come straight down. And then we're going to say switch, switch. Okay. Okay, so let's do it again. 6 plus b greater than 10. 6 plus b less than -10. Okay, so solve for b. b greater than 4. Or, right? This is ors, right? Ors, or be less than -16. Okay, so -16 and 4 greater than 4. Yeah, notice this sign matches that sign. Greater than 4, or now I want this sign to match this sign. Less than -16. Okay, so now let's put it up here. Greater than 4, less than -16. There you go. Less is nest, more is ors. Number 13. Okay, so isolate. The absolute value is already isolated. Let's talk about the parent graph. More is or, less is nest. This is less than or equal to, so the parent graph is a nest. Okay, so our hands do that. It's a nest, notice, less than or equal to. It's going to look like that. Notice, greater than, two pieces, less than, one piece. So this was a little trickier. X plus 5 is a nest, is in between 13 is going to go here. Can you predict what's going to go there? Negative 13. Okay, so that's the nest. It's in the nest. So we're going to subtract 5 from the middle. If I subtract 5 from the middle, I subtract from the right and the left, both outsides. So we have negative 18 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 8. Okay, and now we're expecting a nest in between negative 18 and 8 with filled in circles. So we have 8, we have negative 18, and in between. X is in between negative 18 and positive 8. Number 14. So the first step we do is isolate. Notice empty space there, that's multiply. So we're going to add 3 to both sides. Now we are going to divide by negative 2. And whenever you divide by a negative, you're going to switch the sign. Positive 49. And switch the sign. Okay, now parent graph. More is or, less is nest. So this is a nest with open circles. Okay, that's our prediction. So this is a nest. Notice one piece, 10x plus 1 less than 49. Okay, they both match. They're both less than. And on the other side, we put negative 49. Next step, subtract 1 in the middle, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. And divide the middle by 10, the left by 10, and the right by 10. So we have negative 5 less than x less than, so that is 24 over 5. Okay, so this is a nest. So this is open circle on negative 5. 24 over 5 is 4.8. So open circle on 4.8. And in between, it's a nest in between. And that's it. Thank you for joining me.